Greetings, families. Welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If this is your first time, my name is Mamri, and you are very welcome. This video is a varieties that I've put together. It's about the AES. The first one is about communication transportation between the three countries. They have a workshop that they were discussing what they would do to make things easy for the three countries. Yes, they are always working to make this easy for themselves, which is great. I will be back, families. Listen. Thank you.
Up is Niamey, Niger. This is where exchanges of experience are taking place on the national meteorological services of our countries. The aim is to harmonize practices and procedures in this field. This historic meeting is part of the operationalization of the vision of the three heads of state of the Sahel States Alliance in the field of meteorology. It is in this context that the ministerial departments concerned in the three states were invited to initiate the process of harmonizing meteorological practices and regulatory procedures. The aim of this first meeting is to set up The Agence Nationale de la Méthodologie du Burkina is fully committed to this approach, convinced that together we can meet the challenges facing us. The Deputy Secretary General of the Ministry of Transport and Equipment, in turn, evoked the interest of this workshop in the exchanges will consist of a documentary review with a view to sharing methodologies, technology and procedures in force in each member country, identify gaps and areas requiring harmonization with international standards, identify training and resource requirements to support process harmonization and mutualization of efforts, propose common guidelines based on best practices and international standards. This meeting marks the start of an even closer and more effective collaboration between the three Sahel states, and beneficial to the populations of the ES.
Thank you, family, for staying with me. The next one is about disability, small people. For me, the reason why I like this part is sometimes in Africa, when you are disabled or you have disabled person in your family, sometimes it's not easy to look after. People look down on you, and it's not supposed to be like that because they don't ask to be born this way. They don't ask to be born this way. And so we have to look after them. We don't have to cast them away. And so they also deserve better. They are human beings just like us. And we need to look after them. So I'm so happy the 11 countries are doing this in Bamako. That's why I want to share this with you. I'll be back. Thank you so much.
With the Forum des Personnes de Petite Taille, which opened on October 14th. 11 African countries are taking part in this second edition, which aims to improve social conditions for this category. 14 years after the first forum, Bamako welcomes Africa's small people. They have come from 11 African countries to harmonize their vision and pool their efforts to improve their living conditions. The second African Forum for People of Short Stature is a forum for debate, exchange and sharing of experience around the theme of contributing to the improvement of social conditions for people living with disabilities. For small people, diagnose the situation of people living with disabilities, particularly those of small stature, identify opportunities to inform, raise awareness and lobby governments. UFAM is also committed to supporting all women and girls, including short-skinned women and girls, in asserting their rights and realizing their potential. Representatives of the head of state, members of the CNT and the government, all by their presence, expressed their support for the cause of short people. With the advent of the transition, people living with disabilities have made a lot of progress. These include the appointment of 4 disabled advisors to the National Transition Council, and the inclusion of people living with disabilities in the preamble to Mali's new constitution. A General Assembly of the African Federation is scheduled to take place over the next 5 days. Associations, small people. The activities will close with a Miss Small People competition between forum participants.
If you are still here, thank you for watching or listening up to this stage. The next one, who would thought that Burkina Faso will be invited to UN or any other organization after everything that went on? Yes, Burkina Faso was among the people who were discussing internal displaced people. Stateless. Stateless is another topic that is complicated, and many travelers can relate to it. And so I want to share this one also with you. And from then, I will leave you here. God bless you all for your time. Let me know what you think about this. It might not mean anything to you. For me, all the three videos mean something to me. The communication between the three countries is very, very important. The disability, disabled people, it means a lot to me. And also, the stateless means a lot to me because nobody has to be stateless. Everyone has to belong to somewhere. But if you are stateless, you can't travel. And I said this some time ago that we have a passport, UN passport, that they normally give to refugees. Many countries do not do that because that passport that you saw or you will see is very, very powerful than any other passport. And so they don't like giving it out just like that. I think that's why they went to this summit to discuss what they can do with it. Maybe be giving it more for people who, for one reason or the other, they don't have state. I heard, I don't know if still it works, that when you are born on a plane, you will be stateless. And that's why they have reduced the time limit that pregnant women can travel. Thank you, families. I will see you soon. Bye bye.
Results has Burkina Faso achieved, and what prospects does it have in the collective fight to eradicate statelessness? The answer will be given by the head of diplomacy at the 60th 15th session of the UNHCR Executive Committee. Like Burkina Faso, 126 other countries and observers have been invited to Geneva, Switzerland. According to Filippo Grandi, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, statelessness is both a cause and a consequence of forced migration, particularly as a result of wars throughout the world. With him, the 110 member countries and 17 observers and the 40 or so other non-state observers assess 10 years of activity by Jixista, a global campaign launched in 2014 with the aim of ending homeland in the world. Turkmenistan is the only country to have achieved the goal, but players hail significant progress. Burkina Faso is actively involved in all international fora to demonstrate its commitment to a world without statelessness. To this end, it has drawn up a national action plan for 2017 to 2024 to combat statelessness, based on 9 major actions financed with the support of the UNHCR. Since 2019, Burkina Faso, on a vast project to reform its institutional legal framework, including the current revision of the Family Code. Among other things, it aims to integrate the issue of statelessness and introduce innovative provisions on civil status to effectively prevent this phenomenon. The commitments made by my country at the recent World Refugee Forum aimed at improving the national legal framework for refugee management, stateless and internally displaced people, and to improve access to civil status and identification documents for refugees and internally displaced people. In the same vein, the adoption of new national action plans to fight the homeland, a revised law on the status of refugees, and a digital solution for automatic birth registration are all envisaged. While we must congratulate ourselves on the efforts made and the appreciable results achieved, it seems more appropriate to me to deal with the factors and phenomena that generate and aggravate terrorism, the financing of terrorist groups, climate change, and so on, all of which have a strong link with the selfish management of the world and the monopolistic policies of certain states and players. The Global Alliance to End Statelessness is launched on this occasion, with some 100 states and organizations already committed, including the African Union.
Credit to our TV for sharing this with you. Families, thank you so much. Like it, share it as well. I'll be back with another news. Bye bye.